Hello and welcome to my review of the Saturnine Praetor for the Legiones Astartes for Warhammer, the Horus Heresy from Games Workshop. I'm reviewing the Saturnine Praetor from the Age of Darkness Saturnine box set, which is the Horus Heresy 3rd edition box set, but he is now available to order separately and he will cost you £31.50 and consists of a whopping 78 plastic components. This may well be the most number of plastic components for any single Space Marine miniature, Space Marine character. He's almost consists of 80 components there, which is a lot. So the price kind of justifies that. This is my first review video of the new Saturnine minis, but it will follow the standard template, I guess, of I'll have a look at the Praetor up close. I'll talk about how easy it was to build, any issues I had, all the detail. Then we'll look at those spare parts, which do get a few spare parts. Some options are available for this miniature. I'll go through some size comparisons with other Saturnine minis and other Horus Heresy minis and other Praetors and a couple of Primarchs, and then I'll go through all of his 3rd edition rules. So first things first then, he is an absolute unit. He's on this 50mm round base, which means he's going to be bigger than any of your Terminators and things in your Horus Heresy army. He's very tall, he's chunky, and he was okay to put together. And what I mean by that is all of the parts went together. There are a lot of parts for his legs and his back and his shoulder pauldron type plates. But what I will say is the back cape thing, cloak, is very, very tricky to put together. But what I mean by that is you kind of have to watch where you put this arm. Like, build this arm and glue it, you know, straight away, but then this left arm needs to be a bit flexible. I would probably say, yeah, build this arm last with the cable, and then put the cape on straight after, so you've got a bit more flexibility in that arm, because that's the thing that scuppered me a little bit with that cable that connects to the back power plant, I want to call it. This is a massive old big power plant type thing that's powering this suit of armor. It's probably like the biggest suit of armor that Space Marines can go into, well, not including like the Nemesis Dreadnought or anything like that, or like some of the Centurion suits and things. This definitely seems to be the biggest for Horus Heresy, at least. And I wonder how the Space Marines actually fit in this, like where their arms are their arms all the way to the end? It's just the proportions are really kind of difficult to understand where the feet are and where the arms are. Like, clearly the fingers and things aren't all the way to the end. It would be interesting to find some kind of like X-ray of this one. Anyway, I've equipped mine with a Saturnine hammer and a plasma blaster. You have to have the plasma blaster, whichever you go for. The other option is the Saturnine axe. This hammer, though, it has this flat plate, or it has more of a concave plate with a skull stamp, so you can stamp skulls into things, into armor. He does have a number of head options, and there are little things that you can change, such as these plates, this curtain rail rope thing, this icon. That, yeah, there's bits and pieces you can opt to change. But yeah, other than the cape, the rest of him went together very well. No doubt if I did pick up another one, which I will in future, one with an axe, then yeah, it'd be fun. I'm not sure whether to keep this one as a Dark Angels, or to have the one with the axe as Dark Angels, or to have the one with the axe as a Death Guard. I'm kind of leaning more towards that. But yeah, nice mini, bit of a project. I built him in the live stream, or over kind of a couple of live streams. Let's have a look at the spare parts. So they're right here. Here is the aforementioned axe. It's absolutely huge. Just give you a size comparison straight away. with a Mark III Space Marine. The Mark IIs are the same height, but yeah, considering a Space Marine is supposed to be 7 to 8 feet tall, this axe is easily 11 to 12 feet tall. It's absolutely huge axe. It's almost comical how big the axe is. It's kind of the same height as dreadnoughts. So yeah, the axe blade itself is, or the head of the axe is, yeah, about 7 foot long. It's insane. But yeah, that's the axe. If you wanted to give them the axe, you've got 3 other head options, which is amazing for this model. You've got a spiky one, so you can see that on the macro. You've got this one, just a bit like a Primaris in a way, and then you've got this one, which, yeah, has some kind of sunburst effect thing. Then you've got the different pauldrons, which are a bit less, I don't know, imperial, I guess. They're just these plates on the front. They look similar to the normal Saturnine Terminator, so if you wanted your Praetor to match with them, you can do. This is the different head for the hammer, the different curtain rail kind of icon. I probably would use this one for the second one, and I probably would have the axe and have it as Death Guard, thinking about it now. And then a different cable if you have the axe in the left arm, which I would do. And then this is the different kind of front leather, I always forget the word, like loins as it were. And then these kind of leather things as well go either side of the shoulder pauldron. So there are a fair bit of customization parts there, you know, if you were to get a second one. And because of that, because of the flexibility of this model, like, look, this is the different sort of lens. This is a sort of different jewel thing that goes in there. Because of the variety in this, I probably will pick up another one at some point, but far in the future. So size comparisons then, I've already given you a comparison with a Mark III Space Marine. That's just how big this Praetor is. It's absolutely huge. Yeah, of course, that means that next to a Mark VI, he's going to tower above all the Mark VIs. He's almost Primarch size in stature. I do have the old Mark IV, which hopefully will get refreshed, and I have the old Mark III. Mark III is the same size as 6s and the old Mark IIIs anyway. But yeah, it absolutely dwarfs the old Mark IV. And then compared to the other Saturnine minis, I've only built 2, so try not to judge me. I have the Centurion, and yeah, it's just like crazy how big he is compared to the Centurion. Absolutely huge. You know, he's taller than the Centurion, and the Centurion's got a banner. And then the other mini that I've kind of half built is the Dreadnought. And yeah, the Dreadnought is a big boy. Dreadnought is the biggest Dreadnought. It's bigger than the Telemon, and just the hips the hips are taller than the Praetor, so gives you an idea with the tallest sort of Space Marine, I guess, compared to the tallest Dreadnought. I will finish this Dreadnought very soon. I've got the Arachnus. I do have the Arachnus quad Arachne accelerator cannon, to give you an idea. This model has grown on me since I built it. I think it's fine. Didn't really have any issues with it, and it's quite quick to build. But yeah, compared to that, the cannon's quite big, put it that way. So compared to a couple of Praetors in Terminator Armour, I do have a Emperor's Children Praetor and Terminator Armour, and a Dark Angels one. I mean, a Dark Angels one is a bit smaller, but this is what we had before. You know, these are kind of like the biggest Praetors. Well, I mean, I know the Imperial Fist one is. He's huge, and he is, I think, a bit bigger than the Emperor's Children one. But I've misplaced him somewhere. But these were the 2 on hand. So yeah, these were the Praetors we had before. This is what we've got now. You know, this is what the Saturnine Terminator Armour gives you. It gives you a good few feet height difference and bulk instead of the 40mm you get in the 50mm. So you know your Saturnine Praetor is going to be one of your biggest, strongest character units. This is a standard Praetor, by the way. This is a really cool one with the bone mohawk for word bearers. But yeah, other than a Primarch, he's going to be very, very strong. Speaking of which, I'll just give you a couple of Primarch size comparisons. So the one I used in the live stream was Lorgar. I'll try and take him off of his scenic base, and yeah, Lorgar's still taller in a way, like where his head is. It's just probably about a foot taller, bit less. You know, if you take away that scenic base, they're almost level to level. Definitely his armor makes him look bigger, and his hammer itself is bigger than the maul, and the hammer itself is taller than the Primarch by a fair bit as well. Some of the Primarch sizes are a little bit all over the place, I have to say, and you probably know too if you own a few or if you've looked at a few in real life. But I do have Mortarion as well, and Mortarion is on the bit of a scenic base there. Similar kind of stance though, I think, with the right leg up, and yeah, it seems like they are very similar in height. I would probably say the Praetor is just a little bit taller. Definitely with the armor, he is. He could be mistaken for a Primarch maybe if he had way more detail and things, but he's going to be up there with some of the older Primarchs. Magnus is still taller than him, and you know, Sanguinius, it's hard to judge because of the wings and things, but hope that little Primarch size comparison has helped you to understand just how big this Praetor is. Other comparisons I wanted to make was with some Dreadnoughts actually. So I do have a normal Contemptor Dreadnought, and yeah, normal Contemptor Dreadnought is a fair bit bigger than him. So is a Leviathan Dreadnought, so you have nothing to fear there. You know, if you have any Dreadnoughts, they're going to be bigger than your Saturnine stuff. And then we have the Telemon Dreadnought as well. So yeah, they're going to tower over your Saturnine Praetor. So even though he's almost as big as Primarchs, he's not as big as the War Machines, as they're now called. And compared to a Rhino though, he is a fair bit bigger than a Rhino. Maybe if he ran, he could you know, knock the Rhino over. But yeah, that just gives you an idea just how big he is. And then some 40k minis, why not? Last size comparison, I promise. So we have a normal Space Marine, Firstborn, Primaris, and then Slime Arbor in the middle. And yeah, compared to a Primaris, he is good few feet taller. So yeah, he's a big boy. As I say, the biggest Space Marine, sort of standard Space Marine. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Praetor in Saturnine Terminator Armour. You'll find his rules in the brand new 3rd edition Loyalist Legiones Astartes Army book, and he is in the High Command section. We've never had a Praetor in Saturnine Terminator Armour, so these are all brand new rules for him. He will cost you 200 points, which is an awful lot. For comparison, a normal Praetor in Terminator Armour, a Cataphractii Praetor, is 145 points. A Tartarus Praetor would be an extra 10 points, so even a Tartarus armoured Praetor would be 155 points. So he is expensive, 200 points. What do you get for those 200 points? Well, you get a movement of 5 inches, weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 5, strength 4, toughness 6, 6 wounds, initiative 4, attacks 4, leadership 10, a cool of 9, a willpower of 9, an intelligence of 9, a save of 2+, and an invulnerable save of 4+. Now, his war gear is a Saturnine War Axe, a Saturnine Disruption Fist, and a Thermal Diffraction Field. We'll go through those in a moment. Special rules is bulky 4, implacable advance, slow and purposeful. Traits, allegiance, Legiones Astartes, Master of the Legion, and the unit type is infantry command heavy. Options, this model may have its Saturnine War Axe or Saturnine Disruption Fist exchanged for 1 Saturnine Concussion Hammer for 10 points. So that's or. So you could give him an axe and the hammer. This model may have a Plasma Blasted selected for it for plus 10 points, which mine has, so that's 210 points. So that's 210 points with the hammer and another 10 points, so 220 points for the hammer and the Plasma Blaster. This model may have a Saturnine Teleportation Transponder selected for it for 60 points. So you're looking at 280 points there for 1 Space Marine with 6 wounds. War gear. The Saturnine Teleportation Transponder has the Deep Strike special rule. A model with a Saturnine Teleportation Transponder has the Deep Strike special rule. While such a model has joined a Saturnine Terminator squad unit in reserves, Saturnine Terminator and Saturnine Terminator Sergeant models in that unit also gain the Deep Strike special rule, so they can just Deep Strike for 60 points. Now, its weapons. So, the Saturnine War Axe has an initiative modifier of 1. These are the new stat line characteristics, by the way. I don't believe in the initiative modifier being like 1. Like, I think it works for being +1 or -1 or things like that. But I think if it's just 1, surely it should be 0 if it doesn't affect the initiative. I think it should be 0, not 1. Because 1, you think, oh, it's +1. No, it doesn't add +1 to the initiative. It should just be 0. So that means that it's going to be the unit's initiative, which is already quite low at 4 compared to a normal Praetor, which is 5. Attacks, it just says A, and you'll get a lot of weapons that say A, because if you think about it, with melee weapons, you're most of the time only going to get the attacks that the unit has. So that means that he's going to get 4 attacks, which again is 1 less than a normal Praetor. The strength modifier is +1, so that means he's got a strength of 5. Armor penetration is 2 and damage is 2. He also has the rule Reaping Blow. Now, Reaping Blow, if a model with this special rule is outnumbered, it gains extra attacks. And that attacks is with the X, so he's got Reaping Blow 2. So if he is outnumbered, he's going to get 2 extra attacks, which is quite nice because that means he's going to have 6 attacks there. However, to be considered outnumbered, the total number of friendly models locked in the same combat must be less than the total number of enemy models in the same combat. Models with the bulky X special rule count as a number of models equal to the value of X in the variant of the bulky special rule that the model has. So obviously this model is already bulky 4, so he counts as 4 models. It means that there needs to be a minimum of 5 equivalent models, if they don't have bulky, surrounding him. So if he's against 5, then he's outnumbered. That's the way I read it anyway. His other weapon, which is what mine's equipped with, is the Saturnine Concussion Hammer, and that's initiative modifier -3. So that means his initiative is going to be 1, probably going to be attacking last. Attacks is just A, so he's going to get 4 attacks. Strength modifier is ×2, so he's going to be strength 8, so that's like a power fist. Armor penetration is 2, which is the same as a power fist. And then damage is 3. He also has critical hit 6+. And of course, critical hit, they have a chance to automatically cause a wound and inflict 1 extra point of damage. But of course, you have to roll a 6 for that, and then you automatically wound, and it increases the damage by 1, so you're going to have damage of 4 there. The Saturnine Disruption Fist, which of course could be replaced with the axe or the hammer, has an initiative modifier of -2, so that means his initiative is going to be 2. Attacks is the same, so it's going to be 4 attacks. Strength modifier is +2, so it's going to have it's going to be hitting on strength of 6. Armor penetration of 2 and damage 3. No special rules for the Disruption Fist. It works very similar to a Power Fist, but it's just not as strong, not as cumbersome, like it doesn't affect the initiative as much, and but it does have more damage. It has a damage 3 instead of damage 2. The thermal diffraction field reduces the damage of wounds inflicted by weapons with specific traits. So any weapons with the las, plasma, melter and flame trait, it reduces their strength by -1. Also, any misfire groups are generated by a model with a thermal diffraction field as a result of the overload X special rule. Any instance of the breaching X special rule on those hits will only take effect on a wound test result of 6+, regardless of the value of X. Now the final weapon I want to talk about is his ranged weapon, which is that plasma blaster. Now the plasma blaster is, like most plasma weapons, it has 2 firing profiles, and again this is where we look at the new weapon profile rules. It has sustained fire or maximal fire. So sustained fire is an 18-inch range, so it's not that much of a long range weapon, you know, effective range there of 23 inches, factoring in his movement speed. Its firepower is 2, so he gets 2 shots. His range strength is 7, AP 4, damage 1, breaching 6+, and the traits is plasma. He can opt for maximal fire, which is the same range, 18 inches, same firepower, which is 2 shots, slightly better strength, slightly better range strength at 8, same arm penetration 4, damage the same as 1, but the breaching goes down to 5+, but then you're looking at overload 1. Roll at 1, then yeah, he's going to remove a wound. And I think I've covered all of his war gear and the stat line, and that's my first time going through his stat line, some special rules, melee weapons and the range weapon. So hopefully I will get more efficient and smoother with these reviews as I review more of the units and the new units. Just as a little bonus extra, compared to the Centurion is so much more of a cheaper model. You know, the Centurion has I'll say a way better movement speed, you know, 7 inches instead of 5. It has a worse weapon skill at 5 instead of 6, but it has the same ballistic skill, the same strength. It has lower toughness at 4 instead of 6. It has half the number of wounds at 3, but it has a better initiative at 5, same number of attacks. And then all of the other profiles are similar, like leadership is 9, cool is 8, and the other 2, WP and IN, are 8. The save is still 2+, but the invulnerable save is 5+ instead of 4+. So it really depends on whether you think it's worth it for those better weapons, and they are pretty nice weapons. He is survivable. He can deep strike if you give him, you know, if you pay the 60 points teleportation transponder tax. I think that's a lot of points there to be spending on him deep striking, but you know, it might be worth it if you've got some other Saturnine Terminators to go with him. What do you guys think? Do you think those incremental changes are worth those extra points? To equip him the way I've equipped mine, you're looking at 280 points, which is a lot. Put it in perspective, a Spartan is 400 points. A Leviathan Dreadnought is 220 points. So it's actually more expensive than a Leviathan Dreadnought. And a Contemptor Dreadnought's 150 points. The Saturnine Terminator squad, for instance, is 200 points, and that consists of 3 Saturnine Terminators. So he is expensive, but do you think he's worth it? And what do you think of the model? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.